Alright, here we are for our next match, and we have a great hand here. Option the Lightning Bolt on turn 1, option to Chalice of the Void on turn 2, potential option for Chandra on turn 3, and if we draw any extra ramp, those things could change. The big problem here is Lightning Bolt and Chalice of the Void are going to be conflicting if our opponent doesn't play a 1-drop, and we want to land Chalice on turn 2 most of the time. So we are on the play as well, which makes it less likely we'll be able to drop down Lightning Bolt. And our opponent is on Dredge, it appears. So I decide to just Lightning Bolt this right now so I can Chalice on 1. But that is actually a misplay, I think. I was too tunnel visioned on my play of, oh, if he plays a 1-drop, I can bolt it and then Chalice on 1. The problem here is that Chalice for 1 isn't very good, and Lightning Bolting this is very do nothing, whereas this Lightning Bolt would otherwise be pretty good. So what I could have done is just not played Chalice, not played Lightning Bolt, saved the Lightning Bolt for something relevant, like a prized amalgam, and then tried to Chalice on 2. Now the argument for this play is Chalice on 2 is probably going to be way too slow. Chalice on 1 actually has a shot of winning me the game if my opponent's hand is all Insolent Neonates, this Dredge doesn't hit anything, or Faithless Lootings or Burning Inquiries. So the thing is, it's probably correct to just go for the Chalice on 1, actually, but Lightning Bolting this does nothing, so I probably should have just bolted face, actually. or this is fine, I guess. It's kind of an awkward spot, though, because you don't really want to be bolting Insolent Neonate, and then our opponent doesn't really hit anything. And I do like Chalicing on 1. It does turn off Relic, our own relics though, so there's definitely a cost to Chalicing on 1 here, but I think it gives us a shot at winning the game, since our opponent didn't really dredge anything. If they happen to have a lot of activators on 1 mana, like Faithless Lootings and whatnot, we just have to hope they dredge up nothing, but they hit a Golgari Grave Troll so they can for sure keep going. And it turns out that they have Cathartic Reunion. They're playing the Haunted Dead tech here. So they're gonna Cathartic, dredge Grave Troll, hit an Amalgam, and let's make that a little bit bigger. So we're already looking dead if we aren't drawing an anger, because bug illegal target 2 no source chosen. Alright, well, let's see what happens with that. We're already looking to be in trouble. Alright, the game has ended. I did concede from the game very shortly after this dredge and not drawing anything. Our opponent dredged up some stuff. We didn't draw an anger, and things were looking very grim. Quality program. Alright, let's hope that doesn't happen with future Cathartic Reunions. But anyways, that game was very shortly over. You can actually see not much stuff happened. Not many bugs happened between the point of casting Cathartic Reunion and me conceding. So sideboarding against Dredge. All in red is actually a good deck to play against Dredge. You have 4 relics post board. You have ensnaring bridges, which are going to be good. You have angers, which are going to be good. We have 3 angers, which are going to be great, and Tybalt, which is going to be amazing here. And those are your main cards. If you don't draw those, you're done. You want to draw your hate cards, so you should probably be mulliganing aggressively. We also have some life gain if we want it, but other than that, there isn't that much we want. So chalices are going to be not good. Blood moons are not going to be very good. And some blood moons are okay because they do have life from the loams and are going to want to try and hardcast Golgari Grave Trolls at some point, assuming the game goes long and you haven't dug out all their cards out of their graveyard. So I would probably go for something like this. I like the life gain because, I mean, Dredge is kind of a beatdown deck. You wanna buy time against Dredge. The lightning bolts and the flame slash and the roasts are not that great. So yeah, I'd probably do something like that and something like that out. So game 2. We are on the play. We have Anger the Gods. We have a quick Blood Moon, so sure, why not? I mean, drawing at Anger is a pretty big deal. And Blood Moon, again, isn't great. We don't mind having Blood Moon. So our opponent discards Abrupt Decay and Prized Amalgam, which is not what you want to be doing. You want to be discarding an activator. Ooh, and there's Dragon's Claw. So play along at home. How much life does this Dragon's Claw end up gaining us this game? There's 1. Put it on the scoreboard. There's 2. And there's a relic. So whoop-de-doo. Alright, so we have relic, we have anger, we have blood moon. Our opponent didn't even dredge anything relevant. So this game is pretty much going the way we want it. Neonate beatdown. There's 3. 3 life. 3 life. Alright, still no dredger. But once they hit a dredger, they can definitely start doing things. Of course, we draw another relic. Pretty good. And we don't even have to really do anything with these relics until we are forced to. Until we're getting some nice value. And it's interesting because we have relic and anger, so we can basically balance both of them. What is this, 4 life? It's pretty good. So here's the choice. I could pop relic now. Our opponent is looking to get back Bloodghast and Prized Amalgam from this, which is too much to ignore right now. We don't really have an answer, unless we're using Anger of the Gods, obviously. So we're either going to use Anger or a relic to clean this up. It's just a matter of which one. Now we're not hitting any dredgers. We are hitting this Haunted Dead, but it's hard for this Haunted Dead to ever come back because our opponent's never going to have black mana. But I think it's just better to pop the relic now, because we only have 1 anger. This draws us a card. It could draw something relevant. This beatdown is not very relevant. So we're just going to pop the anger. and get rid of that. I mean, our opponent basically has nothing going on. They might not even be able to follow this up, or they might be slow rolling a dredger, which would be a good play from them to follow up that with a dredger. So there's 5 life from the Dragon's Claw, and there's a Bloodghast. So I could have popped Relic again, which would have actually got a good amount of stuff, including Faithless Looting. But I think my reasoning was I want to get more. I want to get my opponent to waste a bunch of resources and then Relic and Anger if they go for something this turn, which looks like they're going to do. 6 life. Alright, they hit an Archamoeba. So this still isn't that threatening or juicy to take out. Anger of the Gods, really good that we have Blood Moon right now. Maybe should even have more Blood Moons. Maybe I did have more Blood Moons since I have 2 out. But again, the Dragon's Claw padding our life total here. So 7 life? So our opponent actually just decides to draw 2 cards. They don't want to go delve too greedily and too deep. And here we get to splice onto Arcane Desperate Ritual to get some mana. And now that we have Chandra, we want to start clearing out the board. And protecting the Chandra. So we go ahead and Anger now, see what our opponent does. They're just going to draw some cards, and then we clean that up. What is this, Dragon's Claw on 8 now? 8, 9 life from that? Something like that. Alright, our opponent's still slow rolling us a little bit. Not trying to slowly delve out the beats without going too deep for Relic. And here they decide to dredge a Stinkweed Imp and cast a Scourge Devil. So we're just going to go ahead and Magma Jet that. Get rid of both of those, we don't want them. And hit an Anger of the Gods, which is exactly what we want, because now it's likely we'll be able to ult Chandra, unless our opponent has been slow rolling a Conflagrate that they can hardcast. So we'll play that, get rid of the Anger of the Gods, and our opponent just decides to pack it in, since Chandra's ult is going to be a bit too much for them to handle. Although they could have drawn Conflagrate, in theory. Alright, on to game 3. So that Dragon's Claw gained us like 10 life, 10 or 11 life. I'm sure you were following along at home, right? Submit your answer to Shaun Industries for a chance to win a real Dragon's Claw. Giveaway may not, in fact, be real. So, this opener is not that great. We do have Magus of the Moon, we do have Pyroclasm, we do have Magma Jet, we do have Dragon's Claw. We have no hate cards, though. I kind of like just mulliganing this, honestly, because we really want to draw Relics and Angers. And past me agrees, although, I mean, a keep would have been reasonable. I'm much happier with the Relic and the Scry here, and our opponent's mulliganing to 3. I mean, this hand would be tough. It would be tough to win with just a Relic, but since our opponent's mulliganing to 3, and we drew another Relic, I'd say we have a pretty good shot. Here, I would have actually liked to. Oh, I guess I do have the ability to pop relic, but I wouldn't have mind Simeon's spirit guiding out the relic either because it's very good against good against Cathartic Reunion. And of course, as I say that, I realize my opponent has two cards and can't actually Cathartic Reunion. So I think we did all right. Um, and here we just get another relic, and our opponent goes, well, they actually had a good shot if we didn't have a relic. But in response to the Cathartic Reunion, with the Cathartic Reunion on the stack, we can actually exile both these cards. And that makes our opponent scoop them up. Well and good. Well and good. Relics OP against Dredge, it appears. So, we could have actually lost this game if we had have kept that first hand. Of course, we could have actually lost this game had we mulliganed into Oblivion, but I think mulliganing aggressive for the hate cards was correct in this matchup.